Hello, I'm John, and you found my channel, John Reviews It. Today we're going to be talking about my Rotel A12. So this is one of my Facebook Marketplace finds that I bought. Main reason I bought it, I actually bought it for two reasons. One, I needed something to test speakers whenever I go purchase them used, especially if somebody doesn't have equipment to plug into it to where I can actually listen to them before I buy them. So that was one reason I bought it. Well, also turns out the day I bought it and the day I was buying some new floor standing speakers to replace the Kefs that if you go back you will see that I did a quick little review on, I actually replaced them. And well, the speakers I bought to replace them, I didn't get a chance to really listen to them, so I had to kind of buy them unheard and hope for the best. And the only reason I didn't take a chance plugging this Rotel in to power them was not because the speakers were a little overkill for what this Rotel could output. It was more or less, I didn't want to take a chance because we were having some pretty severe weather that day, and it was disgusting outside, and I just didn't want to risk this thing getting zapped by a power surge. So I decided to play it safe, not hook it up, risk it, roll the dice. I'm not mad at the speakers I bought. But here's what I'm going to do next, because we're focusing on the A12 today. I'm going to show you the specifications on it. So as you can see, this little Rotel is not quite like some of its larger counterparts, but it does definitely output that 60 watts per channel it can do at 8 ohms. And I do wish it had a little more power to it, but for what I'm using it for, it's working pretty sufficiently. Although I am the kind of person I would much rather give the speakers that I'm pushing as close to their maximum power they can accept, because it just leaves me plenty of headroom to where I don't have to crank up the volume to really hear the music. Now, do I really have to crank this thing up to hear the music out of the speakers I have connected to it? Nah, it actually works pretty good for what it is. Not to say that I still don't want something a little bit more potent, but I'm planning on maybe thinking about doing something about that in the future. Not sure. I kind of really like this Rotel. I'm kind of because of the bell quality, kind of makes me want to consider upgrading to a more potent 2-channel power amp to go with it, and just using this one unit to take care of a pair of bookshelf speakers I bought and run a power amp to this to where it'll actually run the towers I bought. Not that the power amp that I currently have isn't sufficient enough, but kind of do have a thing for wanting matching components. And since Rotel does make a matching amp that goes with it, why not? That's just my opinion. As far as connectivity, you do have a phono connection. It does have an input for a tuner, a CD player. You do have a USB port right in the front up here, just next to the power button and also the headphone jack. It does have an AB speaker selector. You do have optical and coaxial inputs. I use optical going from the Weem Ultra to this, so that's what I use mainly to listen to music. I don't really use any of the other connections, although it has them. Other than that, the only menu options I really mess with are like maybe just doing a little boost on the bass and the treble, but that's really about it. Other than that, can't really complain about this one. In case you guys are wondering, this is what the remote looks like. Not a bad looking remote, just plastic. Can't complain about it because it does feel pretty durable, pretty good, solid build quality. All that being said, I have zero complaints about this A12. Of course, these are my initial impressions, but I will definitely probably put out a video again in the future on this once I've owned it for a little bit longer and let you know my long-term impressions. So that'll be a video for the future. As of now, that will be it for this video. If you have any Rotel gear, like and subscribe. Also, leave comments down below. Let me know what you got, what you think, and would you have purchased an A12 used on Facebook Marketplace? Or would you have rather see me buy something a little more newer or something with a little more, I guess you could say, power on the amplifier to where I don't need to think about possibly getting something with a little more oomph behind it. Till next video, I'm out.